Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. This is a really nice change because today I'm going to be pretty much exclusively really positive about Black Ops 4 Zombies. Not quite exclusively, but we're close enough that I can round up for the sake of just bathing in the absolute glory that is the new gauntlet that has just released today for Zombies on PS4, and it will be coming to Xbox and PC next week. This gauntlet is completely different to the gauntlet that we had on Voyage. Voyage's gauntlet Unsinkable was a kind of proof of concept, I suppose, where basically Treyarch gave us our first ever gauntlet and said, this is the format. What do you think? Is it something we should do loads more of? Like, it was kind of a tentative exploration of this new game mode, essentially, in Black Ops 4 Zombies. And there were elements of it that were sort of cool, and it did help to kind of sell the idea as, okay, this is basically a round 30 speedrun with a specific set of rules that could make round 30 speedruns in tournaments like ZWC a lot more interesting, a lot more frantic, really varied, and really enjoyable to watch. But this one, this new one called Vinny Vidi Zombie, which I think is a bit of a silly name, but hey, whatever, is so much better than the one on Voyage. And the reason for that is completely kind of focused on 3 specific rounds. One of the rounds is basically a weird form of gun game. It's very similar to that one gumball from Black Ops 3 that I forget the name of right now. It was in my head just a second ago, but the gumball that essentially gave you a random new gun every 30 seconds. This one gives you a random gun that can be pack-a-punched, it can be not pack-a-punched, it's just a random weapon. There are also new weapons today, so this was even more cool than it would otherwise have been, because we were getting access to the MP40 and the Galil and all the other stuff that they added in, without needing to spin the box 100 times or anything like that. So we were going through all these guns, and it just felt really awesome to see this feature being put into Zombies when previously in the year we just haven't seen it. It's not a big thing. It's not so good on the kind of randomness front for if you're doing this challenge in a tournament, if you're relying on RNG being fair to everybody. It's not so good. I mean, you could get the death of Orion, you could get Circuit's Kiss, or you could get unlucky and get things like an unpacked Strife and stuff like that. So it definitely had RNG associated with it, which would make it not so tournament friendly, but that's not what I was playing for today. Today, I was playing Zombies on stream to just have fun, and to go into this blind and play with some folks from the stream as well who jumped on my Discord server, discord.gg/waffles, and just try and have a good time on Black Ops 4 Zombies, and this mode ticked the box. So that was the first one that I really liked. The second round that I really liked involved you having to run around various areas of the map and basically participate in a kind of mini lockdown in each of the areas that it guided you to. So you'd start off and it would say, okay, you've got 30 seconds to run to this spot. And you'd all run there, you'd get inside, and then zombies would spawn in, you wouldn't be allowed to leave, and then suddenly you'd have a new spot to run to and you'd only have 30 seconds, and you all had to barrel it across the map. If you don't make it to the area in time, you start losing health, and then eventually, if you're still not there, once your health runs out, obviously you're dead. So there was this real frantic kind of air that came with it, and it wasn't a complicated idea at all by any means. It was just go here, do a lockdown. Go here, do a lockdown. But it felt like I was 3/4 of the way through an Easter egg doing one of the later steps that was about to bring me towards the kind of final thing I might do before boss fight. Like, I actually had, which is so rare, I cannot stress this enough, I actually had a little bit of that feeling that I get mid-Easter egg hunt when the adrenaline is pumping through my veins and everyone is racing to try and get to that cutscene at the end. I had a little bit of that feeling today, that adrenaline, that excitement, and that eagerness to try and play as well as I possibly could in order to actually get past that stage, get onto the next round, see what was next, get to that reward at the end, whatever, right? So that round I really liked as well. And then, people, Treyarch surprised your boy with something that I didn't actually think would ever happen in these gauntlets. I thought this would just be off the table. I just didn't think it was going to be something that they would play with, but Treyarch, for one of the first times in this game, have really positively surprised me here, because the last round of the gauntlet puts you in the boss fight. It just makes you fight an elephant. You don't know it's coming until you've got there previously once before, or you've seen a YouTube video or something, because of the fact that the challenges only reveal themselves once you get to that round. So in your first time going in fresh, you don't know you're about to go to boss, and it puts you in the boss arena. And at this point in my game, I had 2 shotguns, which are terrible for taking the elephant down. They are horrible for taking that thing down. And thankfully I was playing co-op, otherwise it would have been really horrible to try and kill the elephant. But man, it was just so awesome to suddenly be thrust into the boss fight and actually have a reason to fight that thing again in an entirely new context, in entirely new circumstances. Like, I just loved it, man. I absolutely loved that Treyarch took elements of the Easter egg process, the Easter egg design, the Easter egg flow, and threaded a few of those elements. Not a lot by any means. There were definitely some rounds that weren't so great, but they took a few of those threads and weaved them through the gauntlet and made that ending of it feel really damn special. And that's just not something at all that I felt in Voyage. Voyage was so full of having to use the Essex, and it was just dreary and slow because of that. And yes, rounds that I didn't like in this gauntlet included the one where you just have to survive for 9 minutes. It's zombies. You can just run in circles for 9 minutes. That's not a challenge. It might as well not be there. In tournament play, that would just be boring because there's no way of leapfrogging another team if you're all just surviving for 9 minutes, unless you happen to die. But no team is going to die just trying to survive for 9 minutes on like round 25 or something, or whatever it was. So that one I didn't like so much. I also don't like the one so much where you're having to rebuild 1,000 points worth of barriers. In solo especially, it just sucks. Like, it's really sluggish and slows the pace down massively. You compare it to co-op though. In co-op, it's a lot better. Still something that I'm a little bit kind of iffy on. But for me, those rounds where I was like, this could have been better, didn't matter. There was plenty of that in Voyage, and in Voyage, it did matter. But in this one, I felt like it had enough character and enough soul to just carry me on through, and the ending was just so damn satisfying, man. I loved it. I had a great time. What can I say? I just had a great time playing Black Ops 4 Zombies today on stream, which is not something that I can say very often. It's not something that I said nearly as often as I wish I could have done last year when the game came out. I had some great times streaming it, but I was hoping to be streaming this game every single day for a year and a half. And it's just so nice that I actually got a little bit of that experience today, now that we're in the kind of weeks that will slowly but surely be building up to DLC 2. Now, on that really positive note, I do want to mention a couple of other things that I think have room for improvement. The reward you get at the end is still pointless, right? You get a sticker. I mean, you get calling cards for completing your gold, your silver, and your bronze, and you get a sticker for completing it flawless without any strikes. But it's a sticker. It's an emblem. No one cares at all. And I mean, you have an entire emblem creator in the game. People can make their own emblems that look awesome, and you're giving people a sticker. Like, it's just pointless. There's just no real need for you to have any... There's just no real draw to actually go and get that sticker. I mean, it's a sticker, right? And so, I was talking with my chat at the end of the stream, and one of the things that I was saying is, what if, in future, Treyarch decided that they were going to give a unique Mastercraft variant of a gun away to people that did complete each gauntlet flawless. So this gauntlet is on 9, and throughout the gauntlet, you need to use the MOG, okay? What if you get to the end and you get a variant of the MOG that is like made out of elephant bone or something and like has tusks along the side and is a fully, completely custom bone or ivory or whatever version of the MOG for you to use only if you did this gauntlet flawless? That would be so incredible. It would be mind-blowing, and everyone in the community would be grinding to get this done. There were people in my chat saying that they were giving it a go and that they got to round 25 or 26 and then they died. And those people aren't necessarily going to give this another go ever again. I mean, even me, with the Voyage Gauntlet, I got to 26, 27 or something. I died, and I was like, well, they're doing the Q&A now, and I have no inclination to go back and play it again because the reward is just not there, right? But if I was getting this sick Mastercraft at the end, boy, you had better believe I would be going back. And then I was thinking, okay, what if we apply that same thinking too unsinkable, okay? Unsinkable is still playable in the menus, so they're keeping the old gauntlets available. What if you get to the end, you complete it flawless, and similar to how the Mog was primarily used in this gauntlet on 9, in Voyage it was the Essex, what if we got a Mastercraft Essex, which was actually like a mini Titanic boat? Because the Titanic boat, you've got to remember, was really long. So what if they gave us like a Titanic version of the weapon itself, and then to reload it, we could like break the gun in half as if you were going to go and load in some shells or whatever. And that could be the Titanic snapping just like it did in real life. You could even have like little water effects coming out as it broke in two. It would be so cool, man. Or at least I think it would be. Maybe I'm just getting a bit sort of carried away, but I think those sorts of things would be incredible. It doesn't need to be a cosmetic like the community has been asking for so many months, like I've been asking for so many years. It doesn't need to be that necessarily. It just needs to be something that does really feel valuable. We've been earning calling cards and emblems since like Modern Warfare 2. That's not interesting anymore. There's nothing really in Zombies that I feel like is adequately rewarded with an emblem. But an actual gun variant, hell yes, sign me up. Now, I know, okay, let's reset our expectations a little bit. Treyarch have to follow by what Activision want them to do, and Activision want them to make money. And so Treyarch are putting most of their focus on all of these crazy awesome variants of the guns into things that you need to buy, into things that you need to go through tiers of the battle stream for, all these things, right? They go behind layers of money. And I appreciate that all, and I appreciate time concerns, and I appreciate that they've got limited devs and blah, blah, blah. But Zombies has been shafted for the last couple months. I think that that's fair to say that it's kind of been dealt a little bit of a bad hand compared to the other modes in the game. And just one of these, maybe, just maybe, would be really cool to see. I don't know, man. I'm kind of in this awful position where I let myself kind of detach from really caring about Zombies because it was just too painful to be constantly going, oh, I'm disappointed by this and this and this every single day. And then I have a good day on the game and I'm like, yo, there's still potential here. That spark is still there. As much as so much of the last couple of months has soured me on the game, I still want to love it. Because as I've said in my other videos, all my other videos, I really want to enjoy Black Ops 4. And I just feel like this would be a really good way to kind of enhance that even more. So, Treyarch is just an idea, just putting it out there. Another reward could absolutely work, but I just don't think the emblem really works. I'm sure you guys have some ideas in the comments down below that you could share as well. It also kind of sucks that I think Treyarch were meant to be releasing the Mastercraft camos today for Zombies, but they're not here, and now they're saying that they'll follow shortly after the patch, but they've not given us a time frame. Treyarch, you gotta learn from your mistakes, man. You've either got to deliver on the day that you say something's gonna happen, or even if it's just ambiguity about when it's gonna happen and you never actually said it was coming that day, you gotta keep communicating and making sure that the community is actually informed about when it is in fact going to happen. So today, for example, I tweeted at Treyarch and said, hey, could we get some clarification here? Because everyone thought that Mastercraft camos were coming today, but now they're coming shortly after. Does that mean shortly after today? Is that a couple of hours, or is that a couple of days, or is that next week? What's going on? And the unfortunate thing is that if I tweeted that any of the devs, for example, working on Anthem right now, I pretty much guarantee either the question would already have been answered, or I would get a response. But with Treyarch, there just never is that kind of dialogue, it feels like. Multiplayer has people on Reddit and stuff, like Mattacurse, Matt Scrunts, he's great. Vaughn, obviously, fantastic. Zombies really still needs that point of communication, and I'm hopeful that that's something that can be improved on still in the future. So, I just want to get this out because I'm excited to actually be able to really genuinely and wholly be positive about Zombies again in a video, and just excited about something that they've done. I wanted to give them props because I thought this was really cool. And yes, there are things that are wrong with it, but they can be improved in future, and I'm not going to worry about those too much right now. I've got bigger fish to fry. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'm MrRoflWaffles. Also, if you've been supporting my Anthem videos recently, thank you so much. You have no idea how much of a big deal it is for me. Genuinely, makes my week when you guys tweet me and you're like, hey, I've shared this video with my friends, I've liked it, I'm supporting it, I really like the Anthem review, whatever it might be, right? It just makes my week. So, thank you, guys. See you next time. Bye for now.